You want one?
Yeah.
You can have a little tie now.
Yeah, I got
No, it'd be more like, you want to hear some really niche jokes that you definitely won't understand? Like, check out my podcast. Is that not close enough?
Well, we just want to keep it as close to your face as possible.
Yeah, we got niche jokes about 600 people.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No, I've always kind of wondered, like, how many people do you actually think is in, like, the real longboard community? I mean, I know cruising is still a part of the real longboard community, but people who are actually, like a part of that actually like benefit to the industry and the community.
Influence the industry in some sort of way.
Yeah, like actually like, buy gear and ride on a regular basis.
So you made a comment, you said influence, right? So are you talking about like even social media influencers?
Nah, I guess not even that. I didn't really mean like, I guess just like active in the sport. How many people do you think is actually active in this sport, whether it be like dancing, cruising?
So you're referring to like athletes specifically, like people that are actively engaged in some kind of participation in the sport kind of thing, right?
It doesn't even have to be an athlete. I mean,
well, I mean,
like,
I say athlete as like a really loose term, right?
Yeah.
I mean that in the sense where somebody's an athlete, they take time to participate in the sport.
Yeah.
They do things. They go out of their way to talk, about it, whether it be online or in person.
basically, if you own a longboard and you've used it after the first like 3 months,
you're an athlete.
Yeah, you're a part of the community. How many people do you think? Let's just say for like the United States, I guess, because I don't really know. I mean, Europe it's pretty big.
Yeah, so
I don't really have a
would
number
say
for Europe.
if I were to put a guesstimate on it, I would say between United States, Canada, Mexico. I'm just saying these places out loud so that way I can consider the people that I know that are there. South America.
I know Puerto Rico's got like a decent scene.
Puerto Rico's got, a couple hundred people all in their own. Shout out to Puerto Rico longboarders. Love you guys, PRL. Probably like an active 20,000 or so. The problem is that the longboard scene in Korea is massive. And China, I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of active skaters because longboard dancing is a big thing there.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's a totally different spectrum of people to consider. And I would think that puts it upwards of maybe even 1 million people that have boards that at any one point in time in a week are actively skateboarding.
That's pretty fair. That's a pretty fair number.
Maybe that, or at least in the 100,000s.
So that's like
sure.
It'd be like 0.01% of the population of the world. 0.001%. 100,000 people, 1 million people is not that many.
Yeah. But no, I mean it's still like.
Yeah.
It's definitely a small niche sport when you consider it to other things. When like, snowboarding, for instance, probably has.
Which is why we're making a podcast about this shit. Welcome to the Where's My Skate Tool podcast. We got Jake Hewick and Connor O'Brien. We're hanging out here, and Matthew McKeon, obviously. We're hanging out here at my house in the wonderful Asheville, North Carolina. Just got done skating some flippin' glorious roads. GRC, Camp Shitty, Camp Sucky, all of it. It was a great day.
Yeah, super great.
Super great.
Great day.
Yeah.
Until Connor went into the mud.
Yeah.
So Connor, tell us about you getting in the mud. We're gonna post a video about it.
Well, yeah. Apparently, I dropped on a run that's son of Sucky, but it's a little bit more like grandfather Sucky. Taught Sucky a little bit something, and apparently I just forgot how to slide after skating for 22 days straight. My legs gave out, and I saw a big grass field and went straight for it and went hip deep in some mud. So.
Like Vay.
Yeah, and spent the next hour washing off, getting ready for some GRC runs.
Did not look fun. You were covered.
Yeah, feet were slipping around all down GRC, and had to skate with no shirt because it's covered in mud.
You were a very dirty boy.
It was good. It was healthy for me.
Healthy boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were we talking about right before
I mentioned to you, Jake, that since you were a drummer and you were a musician, that it'd be interesting if you composed your own music for an edit. Speaking to some of the stuff that you've had come out recently that we're going to tag in the bottom of this, you had the video for Big Sur that came out. You had the other video that just dropped from our trip to California.
The Super Bloom.
The Super Bloom edit, which was, that included a lot of Tepe footage and all that other stuff, which you guys just have to check out. That was so much fun. And it had the Montevina runs, which, Big Vine, that road is just one of the best in the game, arguably.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a thought that's gone through my mind, like recording my own music. That was something I did a lot before getting into skateboarding and stuff. I was in a band. We'd record stuff in the basement. It was never really that good. I mean, the music was good. The recordings were just like horrible though. I guess probably the reason I've never really done it is because I edit super well to music that like connects to me with like a good vibe, and then I associate that good vibe with like the skating and stuff. And I know like Tom's really good at doing that too with some of the videos. Like one I always think of is the Spliff Island video. He's got some song on that that's just got really good vibes. Whenever I hear that song, I just think of like skateboarding and stuff. And it's like when I make my own music, I don't necessarily have that, that good vibe association to it. But it is something I've thought about now because one of my very good friends, Austin, he has now gotten really good at like sound recording, and he's basically like an audio technician now. And it's like, hey, we could collab on something, record something, and then, put it in the video or whatever. That'd be pretty cool to like create every aspect of a video. From the visual to the audio. That'd be cool.
I've dreamed about doing something like that for a while now. I thought being able to have somebody, knowing what it looks like when a composer for a television show or a movie does their work, and they actually have a lot of the visuals in front of them from the scenes that have been shot, and they're edited even. Sometimes you'll get the composer will play the instrument while watching the video, and I've always thought that would be the way to properly just denote what's happening in the video, more so than any other type of song could ever do, because in that moment you chose the keys and the percussion to show what that skater did.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes sense.
I think that would be interesting. So do you think that you'd be able to do that you would want to do that?
I mean, possibly. I played the drums right before I left, and I was like pretty bad at it. I haven't really played much in the past couple of years since
Snare or like just a whole drum set?
No, like I was just like a drummer in a rock band.
Oh, that's right, you said that.
Yeah, the band I was in was called The Permanence. We used to just play a bunch of garage shows around Akron, Ohio, and stuff.
What was it, like ska punk or?
So when I was in it, it was really like an indie rock band, taking a lot of inspiration from like The Strokes, the Arctic Monkeys, Yeah, you get the idea, that kind of stuff. It was
not a lot of like heavy crashing.
It was a lot of just like really like grooving and jamming, but with like an alternative rock sound to it. After I left, and they got a new drummer, and just with some different influences, it became more of like a punk rock band for sure. I still really liked their stuff, but it was definitely more of like a punk sound. And then after that, when I left the band, it was because I was traveling so much for skating. So I really haven't played a whole ton since then. Maybe like 20 times in the past like 3 years. I still have the set in my basement, but it's like I never really play them. And it's crazy. Yeah, you kind of lose that ability to play cleanly. I'm sure if I practice, it'd come back, but...
Do you think that that you would let other people compose music for your edits?
Yeah. But at the very same time, though, what we were just saying about how, like, you were saying it would be cool to, make the music to the song so the notes are going with it and stuff. Yeah, that would be cool. But I was more thinking from the point of it'd be cool to make, like, everything you made yourself. So having someone else make it would kind of take away.
Yeah, so the essence of the accomplishment would be to, from the ground up, be able to create something that is just inherently you all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. So,
Big Vine footage we're watching?
Yeah, I just put in the background some Big Vine footage. Connor, what was your favorite road in California?
Big Vine, for
Yeah.
sure.
Wow, that is a gigantic house.
Massive.
Wow, I never realized how big the houses are on this road.
We skated a golden hour of some run outside of Yosemite. It was like New Priest or something. It was a nice like all grip classic California run, but Montevina has got everything.
It's got everything you need, man.
Yeah.
The only thing it doesn't have though is super gnarly big rights.
Yeah, it doesn't have any really gnarly rights.
I'm kind of glad about that.
Yeah, there's one combo breaker right that's money.
Yeah, that one combo breaker is money.
So good.
I wonder why it's doing that. You see what?
Yeah, we look like we're little like glitches.
Yeah, glitching out. That's kind of funny. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, Connor, you just recently moved to Asheville, man. Well, we were just talking about on the last podcast how there's like a group of transplants that are moving here, and it seems like there's been an influx and immigration of people, a migration of people coming to Asheville. At least, specifically to Asheville, whether it be Phil Baldwin or Thomas Richmond or you, like a lot of people are coming to the area. Can you tell me just a little bit about like what drove you to that experience to say I'm gonna do this?
It was really just I've been coming up here for like probably the past 3 years now, and Tyler and David were my two favorite people to skate with in Georgia, so I always had to come up here and skate with them, and just the scene in Georgia is just not really thriving. I mean, we got some Groms coming up, which is pretty nice. It's never really thought I'd see myself as like not an old man, but like I got Groms and I'm teaching them a little something. It's kind of, it was weird, but
It's like a mentor.
yeah, it's kind of sad to watch them go, but they're coming up and visiting, so it's really nice. But yeah, it was kind of just in Georgia, really, if I wasn't working, I was just waiting to go skate. And there's not too many people that come up to the mountains with me, so it's like 2 hours to the mountains or 3.5 to Asheville when you're skating with all the boys. So
Might as well go to Asheville.
yeah, and the amount of money I was spending about $300. I spent up to $300 in 1 month on gas, just traveling to Asheville, and a few hundred more dollars, and that's rent here. So if I've got nothing keeping me in Georgia, I just thought might as well skedaddle and get on up to where all the hills are and where all the homies are. So
Yeah.
it was really just a lot of like sit down and realize you can leave. Like you can just move out of the situation
So
just like that.
what would you say to the people that are on the fence about moving, not necessarily to here, but to somewhere where they want to, or kind of exploring a new place because maybe they're scared, or it's an intimidating process, right? To leave home, to leave everything that you have that's set in a place that can help you.
It's definitely intimidating, but you're constantly learning every day from new people that you meet, and also just having to throw yourself out there and kind of put yourself in a new environment, especially like people that have moved out west from the southeast. It's a completely different culture almost. Not like going to a different country, obviously, but everything's a lot different. And I mean, I don't know, ever since being out here, it's been nice because everyone's a lot nicer than down in Atlanta. There's everything's a little bit more relaxed, and I don't know, some people like that uptight city vibe, but I kind of like in the mountains where no one really gives a fuck.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better, as long as you mind your own business. But I mean, it's not for everyone.
It's a half step back in terms of speed, right?
Yeah.
You come to the mountains, it's kind of like an island time, right? You go to an island. You've been to Hawaii. Both of you have been to Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
I have never been
You've
to Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii
either, but I've been to Puerto Rico, and I
need to
know
go.
that in Puerto Rico, when it's island time, it's island time.
Yeah.
It's like, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's time to stop working and go drink a beer.
Yeah.
There's.
And that's things stop, stores close, right? So
Yeah.
it's a different mentality than the city where you're not open 24 hours a day. What?
Yeah. See, I guess I'm kind of used to that. The town I come from has still got some older traditions. Like in the main center of town, a lot of the places will close at 5. they're not open on Wednesdays, which is just some weird city thing. But yeah, they're kind of more laid back, chill. But that's not because everyone is like laid back and chill. It's just because it's like an old tradition and they've kept it going. But I am kind of used to that though. Like things closing early and people just going home and, you know, mowing their lawns and cooking on the grill and stuff. I live in a super suburban city, like probably the most suburban you can get in Ohio.
Where is it again?
It's Medina, Ohio, is where I grew up and live. Yeah, no one knows where that is, but it's like right between Akron and Cleveland, pretty much.
Okay.
LeBron James, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know I've heard of it before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you have any intentions on moving?
Yeah, you know, anyone who lives here definitely knows I'm always talking about how I'm going to move here and stuff. And I really should, because I'm kind of on the same boat where I spend so much money just traveling down here all the time. Where if I just lived here, I could, you know, cover my rent with the amount of gas I spend coming down here. The last 3 summers, every summer I've done a pretty hefty trip to the point where I have to just go home and like work because I have no money left or I'm in debt or something. And I think this summer I'm going on another big trip, but I think that'll be my first time coming back and like having a little bit of money to my name, and I'm probably going to try to come back here and just find a job, and I'm going to try to move here when I get back in like August. We'll see how that goes, because I say that every year, and then I don't move here, but...
Well, let me know if you need a place to come for a few days.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've had a lot of... And that's the thing, is the community's so tight here. Everyone has always been like, you know, oh, well, you know, if you need, like, a couch to sleep on until you, like, get up on your feet and stuff, you know, just let me know. It's like everyone's so... The hospitality here is amazing. And that's also a part of, like, the longboard community, too. It's like, what other community can you just, like... DM someone on Facebook that you've never met and be like, yo, I'm gonna be in California next week. Can I like come crashing your couch? And like, yeah, dude, like come through. Like what other industry can you do that in? Like there's really not many others.
No, there's really not. It's pretty unique to our sport, I think. I mean, even other sports along the lines of surfing and snowboarding have their groups, right? You have their ways of doing things and protocol, and I think across the board, guy or girl, old or young, there seems to be this general understanding and camaraderie amongst skateboarders. At least until you do something stupid, right? At least until you piss somebody off on the internet.
Yeah. I can think of some of those.
You know, we were just talking about that a minute ago.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You'll see dank memes eventually.
Yeah,
But
dank memes to come, guys.
You'll never even know, though.
Oh, man. The memes have definitely helped save the industry.
God, I'm not a huge meme person. Like, yeah, I see them on Facebook and I'll laugh about them and stuff. But freaking longboard industry memes, I die for those. I'll never forget the one that like literally had me like crying was
Pindy the Straight runs the industry.
There was one where it was like Bart Simpson and he's like out of body experience. He's like, whoa, I'm dead. And it was just like when you try to grip a corner on like Power Wheels or something. I was crying from that one. It was just so good.
Oh, you get the ones that it says no roads are private with the middle finger or the Trump meme. I'm looking at Pendy the Straight is probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, let's all look at some memes
yeah,
here.
So real quick, we're going to take a second. Everybody pull out your phones. I want you to find your favorite meme. Oh, so here's one that I feel was a direct slight against us. So Pendy the Straight, December 27th, 2018. It's 2 pictures of some dogs, and it says drinking water at the session, drinking seltzers at the session, and it has the dog just facing this sprinkler. And I feel like that was personally offensive, because that's exactly what I look like every single time I get down to a session. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
I had one saved. I'm looking
Yeah,
for it.
I thought I had some saved.
We'll edit out the downtime so you can just take your time. We're already, guys, by the way, I just want to say we're at 20 minutes.
Wow.
So we can go to a full 30-minute one if people would love us. The longer it is, the better.
I mean, We're doing good so far.
Yeah.
God damn, Jake, you and your raw runs and snowboarding.
Dude, this is actually like, it's crazy going, because some of these runs we were going about 55, 60 because we were tracking them, and it's like actually crazy, like going 60 miles an hour on a skateboard or on a snowboard, I'm sorry, is actually like still almost more scary than on a longboard.
I bet.
Because snow is so much more rough when you're going that fast over it. Like, it is like, you know, the equivalent of like riding a chip sealed road, but you're going like 60, and you know if you fall, like falling that fast on a snowboard isn't like longboarding where you get some road rash and then you usually slide on your pucks and like your feet or something. It's like you catch and you just like tomahawk down the hill, and you're getting like concussion and like broken bones, and like there's no like good way to fall going that fast on a snowboard.
There's something to be said for the fact that the snow can grab you at certain times.
Yeah, like catching an edge isn't like just when you're like turning. Like you could randomly just catch an edge. That's why you always want to be on an edge. Like, you know, he's like carving a ton right now. Is because you don't just want to be going straight that fast. You want to be on an edge so you're less likely to randomly slide and catch an edge.
So that's a huge difference between longboarding and skateboard, or longboarding and snowboarding. Is that in longboarding, you're almost trying to always stay on top on the flat of your board.
Yeah.
Whereas in that, I mean, I guess if you look at it, you're never carving that hard on a skateboard, because if you do, you're sliding.
Yeah. No, and that's one thing I actually really enjoy about snowboarding. It's like, and he's not even laying them down right now, but like you can like really lay one out. We all have park boards, so all of our edges are super dull, and we can't really grip into the snow super well. But like when you've got like a good all mountain board, like you can really lay down a carve and hold an edge well, and that's just like the best feeling ever.
So is that the difference between riding, you know, grippier wheels and riding super icy wheels on a downhill?
Yeah, if you have really sharp edges, it'll dig into the snow better. Also, it has to do with like the shape of your board. If your board's skinny, your toes will drag in the snow, and then, you know, that's not fun. That's like your foot sliding off a board, basically. But yeah, the edges.
Why would you get a board that skinny?
Usually because it's easier. So a bigger, like he's got a big board right now. That's like an all mountain board to go fast and stuff on. But it's harder to maneuver if you're in the park. If you've got a small skinny board, you can, you know, whip that bitch around like way easier.
This guy's slaying. Like
this is actually Michael Schmidt.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout out Michael Schmidt, dog.
Dude,
You're fucking murdering it.
Michael is really good at snowboarding. Honestly, like, he's probably bigger into snowboarding than he is longboarding. Like, he's definitely been into snowboarding way longer.
Wow, I was gonna say,
yeah, and it's funny, we actually ride, like, this is like our apartment right here. You ride like or the condo we were renting or whatever. You ride right up to the front door. It was so sweet.
That is amazing. So that was another Jake Cuke video, yeah. Here's, I think this is
my mom was so upset about this intro. Passing around bongs and smoking joints.
Yeah, so this
like,
is
smoking weed.
This is another one of Jake's videos. We're gonna link to it in the bio. We're just gonna tag his whole channel, but this is like the Tepe video.
This was a Tepe video, but it wasn't really a skate video. This was like a trip video, I guess. There's not really much skating to be done.
Passing a blunt right there. Philip Scar smoking weed in California. Noah, you just got everybody on camera doing drugs, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's California. It was legal.
Yeah, I know. My mom's like, are they smoking weed? I'm like, well, it'd be the same thing as them having a beer. It's like fully legal there, so, you know.
All right, so let's go ahead and have the conversation. Is Malibu worth it, skating-wise? Downhill skating specifically. I'm calling out all the tuna heads. I'm sorry. Everybody that's ever defended tuna to me, I'll put my hand up and say right now, I'm not as good a skater as you are, more than likely. But that being said, tuna is a road that if you were to take all of the things about it, like the fact that it's a one-way, and apply it to any road in North Carolina, that road would be better than tuna.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree with that. Now, one thing is to be said, like... Actually, I have several things here. I'll just put in my sense here on California in general. One, California definitely has its own, like, culture and vibe to it, which, you know, is, like, pretty much unmatchable. You know, it's like, in North Carolina's got its own vibe. But there, you know, it's just got, like, a nice vibe to it. There's not many places you can like skate down to the ocean. You know, like tuna, you literally skate right down to the ocean. And then, like, the culture around it, like, I think Tuna is such an amazing road for its ability to be hitchhiked so easily. When I was there for a week by myself, I just take the bus over there and hitchhike it by myself all day long. And that was just such a mind-blowing concept to me. To be able to have an amazing sesh by yourself and never have to walk up the hill.
Yeah, that's a really true fact. I remember hitchhiking up Tuna, and it was kind of fun. You get to meet a bunch of different random people, and you can go skate by yourself, which I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, I mean, I was taking
not
it
too
chill.
smart.
Yeah, skating Tuna by yourself is, for the people that do
Skating any run by yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta at least have someone know that you're there doing it.
Yeah, I had people know that I was there, and I had people expecting me back at the house, so if I didn't come back by, 9, they'd probably be asking questions and probably coming to Tuna because they knew I was there.
True.
Now, another thing about California is I don't think anywhere else in the world banks their roads as properly as California does. Like, if you look at those roads, they're just banked so perfectly. Like, I don't know, I just think of, like, Decker. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite roads. Or even Mulholland, like, that one is banked really well, too.
I love Mulholland. I mean, that road is a road that was literally built for driving. Like, that is a rock solid driving road. I mean, that's the one that, what's his name? Not Jay Leno. It's the guy with the big chin.
Jay Leno.
No, is it Jay Leno?
Yeah, it is Jay
so
Leno.
Jay Leno has Jay Leno's Car Garage. Yeah, it is Jay Leno. Whenever he takes a car out, if it's not on just like the road, he takes it to Mulholland. That's where they shoot at.
Yeah, I've seen clips of him there.
Yeah, that's so sick.
I've also seen all the compilations of people like flipping their bikes and like skidding off the road, blowing lanes, which is what like makes me scared because Mulholland is basically like Elk in the sense that it is really a pretty chill road. There's only a handful of like drifts, super fun. But it's got hella traffic.
Yeah.
And that scares me. I mean, the times I went there were times where, it was pretty chill. Actually, I've only been there like once, I guess. But it was like really chill when we went. But yeah, I know it can get really hectic there. And then what was the last thing? Last thing about Malibu. I love Slurry Seal. Tuna
Blasphemy.
Tuna Slurry Seal, I don't know, it's a little bit rumbly for me. But like Decker Slurry Seal, oh man, I could eat that shit up. I love that.
It's better than North Carolina Chip Seal.
God, anything's better than North Carolina Chip Seal.
For sure.
But yeah, no, definitely like Tuna, if it wasn't a one-way, it would not be the road it is. I think to sum what I've talked about up here, Malibu is a must-skate spot. And, like, I'll definitely keep going back there, but I don't think I'd ever want to move there for the purpose of skating. I think Asheville would be the place to move for skating. Yeah.
That makes sense. So, on that note, what would you say is your favorite pavement to skate free ride wheels on? Or, like, just normal wheels?
Okay,
in the world.
In the world.
And then narrow it down to and then you could even bring it down to like the United States.
Okay, well, real quick here, I'm going to say I hated European pavement. It was a very weird, like, tacky hookup, but icy slide. It was just not a very enjoyable pavement, in my opinion. And I think even a lot of the people there kind of knew that. They were like, yeah, it's a little bit different. I love Decker Slurry Seal. But not my favorite. Favorite pavement I've ever skated would probably have to go to Kong, honestly.
Oh.
There are parts of I know the pavement on Kong changes a couple times, but there's one part where it's like black, but it's gritty, and you can like feel your wheels like wearing down, which is like. And let's be real, like that's a pretty nice feeling when you're just like dumping, you're like just chewing into it.
It's like spreading butter across a piece of toast.
Yeah.
And you just see it go and glide right across and just dissolve.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Probably, and I've only skated Kong once in my life, but I remember just like skating it and being like, this pavement is like to die for.
Majestic.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah. Kong was some crazy good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any Asheville roads that had pavement comparable to that, because I know there's something that I've skated.
All right. So what's one of those Asheville roads that is, what's your go-to? I want to like get something. I want to like start a go-to. Like, what is your go-to Asheville road? Like the road you want to skate when you come here, besides Elk, because everybody is Elk. Like
obviously Elk. So for me, it has always actually been LSD, which is weird for a lot of people because I know some people don't really like that road.
It's pretty gnarly.
It probably has something to do with growing up and never coming here. That was the road I always saw filmed. And I also remember seeing Phil's run there. And I remember that run, pull up Phil's run. He makes that run look so chill and so easy. It was so casual. And then I will like never forget the first time driving up it. And I was just like, wait. So like, this is that road. I'm like, what in the hell? I was like, Jesus. I'm like, this is way more gnarly than he made it look.
Yeah.
And like, I know you can do it, but props to anyone who grips that left at the top. Not the one Phil grips here, but like the big banked left, like that's burly, and miss me with that.
Yeah.
Miss me with that. But no, I love LSD. I typically take it a little more like free ridey as I do any run. But it's just a fun one. It's another one that the pavement feels pretty nice. It's getting pretty rough now, but like it does have a nice feeling of just like wearing down your wheels, but like you're like it just makes it really controllable. Yeah, like look at this. He's just so
Yeah, he gripped that.
Yeah, he grips that.
That's
and
pretty fucked up.
It makes it look so easy.
I've never even tried to grip that.
No. Well, and I wouldn't recommend it at all.
I know so many people have bricked themselves trying to grip it.
One of them is a really good friend of mine, Merritt. That was where
Yeah.
he broke his fucking face.
Yeah, Merritt got fucked up on that. I know David said he like hit his back on a tree really hard there one time.
I dislocated my shoulder there for the first time ever skateboarding in North Carolina.
Wow, yeah, I know. And that, for me, you know, that's like just one of those sends that's really like the takeaway from it is not worth the risk. You know, the payoff is not worth the risk for me on gripping that.
Well, and, you know, to be fair to physics, he is wearing a windbreaker.
Still, though.
I know, that doesn't make it any less fucked up.
It doesn't take away
Phil
from
just killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was such a good run. LSD is a fantastic one. So maybe let's do top three. What's your top three NC?
Okay, top 3 NC that I always hope to skate when I come here. LSD, GRC, and Secret Surf Spot. Pretty confidently can say those 3 are the top 3 that I always want to try to hit when I'm here. Close 4th would be 151.
Really? 151?
I love 151. See, I take it super slow and just like carve around, and it's just such a fun run. Like the sweepers are so fun to just like carve around and be surfy on. And you know, if you're doing it like that, it is a relatively slow and safe run. Like it's not gnarly, and I can just like be jamming to some music, just having a time of my life for like 15 minutes or whatever. Especially if you're going that slow. It's a long run. If you're it's a long run if you're not like tucking, if you're carving around
Connor,
and stuff.
what do you think about 151?
151, it's a lot of fun besides that one right at the top. Where I'm always forget about it and I'm like right behind someone.
Oh.
And then they look back and they're always pissed off at me. I'm just like, oh, wait, that's that turn.
This is the one, man.
Yeah, everything else though, all the lefts you can spot at the bottom are really fun.
Oh yeah,
During
for
the
sure.
winter time.
Yeah.
During the summer it's a little spooky. But also we hit it in the fall, like right as all the like leafer season. It was just like a golden tunnel.
Yeah.
It was, that was a lot of fun.
There's like plenty of places for cars to do some out-of-pocket dumb shit.
Oh yeah, just random pull-offs where they have to get a picture.
Yeah, they're like, oh, look at that view, and you know, just whip a U-turn or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous, but it was fun.
But what are your top 3 roads? Yeah.
Connor, what's your top 3 NC?
Surf Spot for sure.
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah, Surf Spot's too good.
And Elk is everybody can assume that Elk.
Everyone can assume Elk.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a part of the list.
I'd say Horse Cove and Highlands.
Horse Cove.
Yeah, I've never heard of Horse Cove.
It's a 2-lane highway from Highlands like down to the valley. It's really dope. It's a lot of cars, but there's a good combo breaker right at the top. And then there's a bunch of like can steep neighborhoods within like 10 minutes, so definitely a good area to go to.
I just remembered one that I definitely have to add. I've only skated one run down it.
What was that?
You're gonna have to help me with the name. It's in Brevard. I want to say it was called like Orbiter or something like that. It was like a neighborhood with like just fat slides, like, you know, like 75, 80 foot slides just back to back.
Orbiter.
I know Richard Allen has a run on it for Sucrose from like last season. I think it was last season. I feel like you filmed it. But I don't know.
Oh, I'll have to look that up.
I don't know. It's a sick neighborhood. That was definitely one. And I only skated it once, but I remember like skating it and then we got the boot and I was just like, damn. We were filming that day too and I was like, man, I really wish I could have filmed that because that was amazing.
I would say... Oh, wait. What was your... Did you say all your top three?
No, I got
what was your top three?
Horse Cove and then Surf Spot.
Okay.
Third...
This is SOS.
It's hard to narrow it down like this.
Right? There's so many good ones. It's
I'd
like
have to
hard
say Camp Shitty.
Really?
For sure. I really like Camp Shitty.
That was the one we skated today, right?
Yeah, it's the spot I've skated most since I've moved here.
Yeah, no, that one's a fun one. I wish I would have had some different wheels on that were more slidey. I was gripping hard on that. Plug. Some Blood Orange Smokes would have been real good.
Hey, Blood Orange, if you're listening,
Yeah.
Jake could really use a set of smokes right about now.
No, but not even, you know, doing some advertising here or whatever. I'm really happy with those wheels. That's like the most happy wheels I've ever gotten from them. Like, just them being hyped up and then getting them and being like, this is exactly as good as they said, you know?
So, accurate hype to enjoyment
Yeah, for sure.
ratio.
Yeah, like, you know, I still like all the other wheels, but those ones just, they last long and they feel great. They also, like, there's not many wheels that feel really good on super grippy pavement like that.
Yeah, and I think that that's the gauge for wheels for me now, is if I take these wheels fresh and skate them 4 or 5 runs down Elk, how do they feel?
Yeah.
And that will give me an immediate understanding of how they're going to feel pretty much everywhere else. And it's like snakes feel fine on this road. They are going to be slidey as fuck on every other road that's grippy or gritty. And then they're going to be more than adequate on roads that are super grippy, right? So it's a great metric. It's a great pavement for, you know, gauging your wheels. And I think that's why everybody loves it. And I think that those smokes on a road like Shitty, which currently has a similar pavement to Elk, it just needs to age just a little bit more, would be just downright savage on that road.
Oh, God, yeah, that would have been so good. I did that run on Paradise yesterday. And, like, the whole time down, like, every time I'd hook up from a slide, I was just like, oh, nut. Like, I was just like, oh, my God, that slide felt so good. Yeah, I really wanted to do another one, but it was getting dark.
Like this video, this Dark Star video that I made, tribute to David Bowie, and it was David Boubier in it, and David hates it. He says he doesn't like this video. Fuck you, David. Anyway.
Real quick here, Matt, what are your top 3 favorite Asheville roads here?
I would say that one of my favorite roads, so top 3 favorite roads are Hookers. I love that left breaking out into the sunlight.
That road scares me.
That
That is a good left.
Where
Yeah.
you swoop in
It's
and
just
gain
so
like,
good. You gain a million bajillion miles an hour, man. You just you go warp speed into that and no cars into that turn. And if you hit that
So
the left
good.
before it, the dirt left, if you catch that, you have somebody blocking you going into it, you could just full grip pretty much everything into that. And then you're going so fast and that feeling, you just It's
You hit the bank right.
yeah, and it's gripping all the way down, and then you come through right and hit that. You hit that guardrail with all the vines and stuff on them, and you just smack all the kudzu and everything. Gosh, I
probably should try to skate that this trip. I haven't skated it in a long time, so now that I'm better, I'd probably enjoy it more.
God,
but
yeah.
I remember it probably scared me so much because one of the first times I came here, it was definitely more of like hands down. You know, I had big square lips and like a split setup, so I was forced to go fast down the hill, and that was like scary for me. I was just like, oh my god, like I'm going way faster than I want to be.
I hate going faster than I want.
Yeah, that's like not a great feeling when you're like, when you're just like, oh, I'm going faster than I want to be, and there's nowhere good to slide right now.
Yeah. So, flipping through this, my second pick would definitely have to be Rocky Balboa. Like,
Ooh, too grippy.
Yeah, too good. I only skated it once at the new pavement.
No, I'm saying the main section. I just put on this video because this is the Akon Outlaw.
You're talking about the main section?
I'm talking about the main section all the way down.
Super straight.
And then you start at the very, 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 very top. Like, it's such a long ass road. And then it'd be those three. It would be Hookers, Rocky Balboa, and GRC. That would be probably my list. And then Elk, obviously, is at the top.
Elk is a given.
One.
Yeah, so if you know, I think Elk is on the number one list for people who, you know, don't even live in NC.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's just the bitch.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
I mean, like, honestly, like, Elk is almost like the tuna of Asheville, because it's like, you can just be like, sesh at Elk, and people will show up. You know, people just say sesh at tuna, or you just show up to tuna and there's a sesh there. That's how Elk is you can just show up there and there's probably going to be people skating.
Hey.
It's amazing. A little cameo by Connor in this video. You cannot underestimate the amount of fun that can be had 15, 20 deep on Elk.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I feel like I haven't had any hectic pack runs on Elk in a little while. I remember 2 years ago, into that kind of the straight sweeper section that's sort of halfway down the hill. I don't know how, but like 10 of us all got bunched together, and we were just all standing up, but we're like all bumping each other, just in like a huge. It was just the scariest thing because none of us could we couldn't really do anything unless like the people in the front would have just started tucking. We were just like all got into a ball and like we were just going through the sweepers like that. And I remember that was just super fun because we weren't like freaking out because we were all standing up, but like it was just fun. I mean, I guess I do love we got a few barrels yesterday, doing some road barrels.
Gotta love me some road
Tunnels.
barrels.
Yeah.
What was the car going up in that last clip?
The car going up? It was just a random car.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just a random.
At Turkey?
No, this is GRC.
Oh, what?
Yeah, this is the GRC video I was talking about.
Oh, damn. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, I would actually like to know what everybody else's top 3 NC roads are. So anybody who's listening, if you want to leave us your top 3 in the comments, I would love to find out. Compile a big list, and maybe we can even get a poll together and get everybody voting on what are the best roads in NC via the people's opinion, not just our opinion, you know? I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. And not only that, like, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've definitely, I've gotten around. I've skated quite a few runs. I've done, you know, Asheville. I've done the Midwest rips. I haven't gotten into Wisconsin much, but done Colorado, California, Oregon, Washington, a little bit of Canada, all over. Definitely did some of the best ones in Europe. And I still feel like Asheville is like the best. It's like every place has something that's good in itself, you know, like Europe, you can't match that just like skating a run for like 18 minutes and just having like these gigantic like snow-capped mountains all around you. There's nowhere else you can like match that. But it's just like for the sheer like number of runs that are just like incredible in one place, Asheville is like the place to be. They're just so densely packed. I mean, it was like, you know, California, you gotta drive like 20-30 minutes between spots. Europe, you gotta drive some of them hours between spots. Asheville, it's like, oh, yo, you know, this other one's like 10 minutes down the road.
Or this is an A-frame and just hit the go on the other side.
And then we, like on the way there, we passed like 5 like runs that you could totally skate, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't do those because you know we got this other one that's right over here. Ooh, ouch.
Yeah. this is where I wrecked my drone.
Yeah, I saw this and I cried a little bit. What?
So, of any and all people who have gone through the trouble of having their drone on auto go home mode and it just collides into something, know that I share your pain. Know that I share your pain. Well, I think that watching a video of Ed on TNT is a pretty good place to wrap it up. I really do appreciate you guys sitting down with me and having a chat. It's always great to hear some thoughts about some things. I can't wait to have you come back. We'll do another one for sure. We got tons of footage dropping left and right with you, Jake, from our California trip. I guarantee you there's, at least 2 more videos to come, whether it be, Backside 9 San Francisco stuff.
Oh, I forgot about all that stuff.
Yeah. Like, we have a ton of footage still to come out, so I'm looking forward to that. And Connor, you being in Asheville, it's only a matter of time before we have some great footage drop of you too. So
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You're waiting. Sitting over here tapping his foot like nobody's filming me.
I'll do it eventually. I'll get to it. I'm just enjoying myself right now. I'll start filming probably next month when I get a little bit bored.
Yeah.
Depends on a few runs maybe.
A few runs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you, boys. I appreciate it. Everyone else,
All right.
make it a good one.
Have
We'll
a
see
good
you at
one.
the bottom.